Hi everyone, this is day one of a trip to Edmonton, currently halfway between Prince George and McBride, British Columbia, really in the remote wilderness. And this is a sign that says Inland Temperate Rainforest. This globally unique area is one of the world's remaining inland rainforests. These wet forests contain cedar trees over 1,000 years old and rare plant species that are still being discovered by scientists. As our climate continues to change, this area of protected forest is an increasingly important source of biodiversity that will help maintain the ecosystem into the future. And this is a rest stop. Just go for a little walk down here. Lots of snow here still, because we're getting up in a fairly high elevation. I guess it's probably about 7,000 or 8,000 feet maybe. This is kind of a pass. And there's a nice river at the side of this rest area. This is fresh mountain-fed streams. It's a nice little park down here. Well, back on the road. Hi YouTubers, I'm back on the road here, and this is Canadian Rockies. This is pretty much what the road is like between Prince George and Jasper. It's just very winding and trees, very isolated. There's a lot of forestry going on in this area. Look to the side. Well, here's a bit of a better view of the mountains along here. This is the Rockies, the Canadian Rockies, and there's a little bit of a glacier up, lots of snow. It's March, so there's still lots of snow in these mountains along here. And if you see up there on the coming up, you see patches coming down the side of the mountain, and those patches are clear cuts from the forestry. The wood, the wood is, the trees are trucked out, and at some point they have tree planters that go up into the cut areas and they replant. So it is a very planned situation. And you can see this one, I don't know if you can see this one properly or not, but it has been replanted and there's some growth there coming back. Back of the camera up here. Some beautiful mountains along here. Here I am again on the highway, and I just want to show you that we're so far away from civilization here that there's no radio. Just do a scan. This is FM. This would be the perfect place to have satellite radio. I mean, it goes around and stops, but there's nothing. I know if you go just tune manually, there is nothing here. Wanted to show you how much traffic there is on this road. We've been on this road for about 2.5 hours, and that's probably the most traffic that we've seen coming the other direction. And you don't really get to see a whole lot along here. It's 2.5 hours of being surrounded by trees. And I know back in 1992 when we moved to BC, driving all the way from Toronto and across the prairies to the west coast, This was the most boring stretch of road and during the whole trip. There is just absolutely nothing here. Totally remote. You know, you might see the odd moose or bear or something if you're very lucky. Oh no, another truck. But there is really nothing up here. This road wasn't built until I think around 1970 perhaps. We're coming into a town in about 20 kilometers by the name of McBride, and it's really the only town between Prince George and Jasper, a stretch of almost 500 kilometers, and it should be coming up soon. Now driving into McBride, British Columbia. I don't know what the population would be, but it couldn't be more than a couple thousand people, I wouldn't think. And it's a bit of farming and forestry down this way. There's also a sizable Mennonite community. Mennonites are nice people. McBride is in a valley between two of the ranges of the Rockies. You can see them. One range on this side. Then we have mountains again over here on this side. And the town itself, I think, has been here a long time, certainly over 100 years. It used to be only accessible by railway, and but like I said, you know, the highway was put through here about 40 years ago. I'm going to stop and get some gas here. Price of gas today is $1.07.9. That's per liter, which is 10 cents higher than it was in Prince George.